I did want to share this little story as well because we are keeping an eye on the American political world, and I think, Chewie, did you get a chance to talk about the VP selection by Kamala Harris? Was that with you, or was that last night?
No, I didn't. I hadn't been paying much attention to it until the pick was announced.
Well,
the more I read about this guy, the more awesome he seems.
Do you know who he is? To put in context, do you know who he is? He's their Karen McAnulty. He really is. Yeah. He is a further left person than most farmer type, run-of-the-mill guy. He's their Karen McAnulty. So he will get on with everybody, and he's a really good get. The other thing is he is probably the furthest policy-wise left that they've ever had, either for president or VP. And we've been saying, Chewie, for a long time, whether it's in New Zealand and you're talking capital gains tax, or whether it's in America and you're talking about, background checks for semi-automatics, the left, and not just like the corporate left, but the actual left policies, free school lunches that are, cannabis regulation or legalizing, are always really popular when they poll them. They have decided, whether they're aware of it or not, that this election is now going to be a referendum on our proper left views, as popular as they appear. Because if they win, then that sets up him to follow on from Kamala as the following president, although he's older. But do you know what I'm saying? It's a really interesting point. Now, Medhi Hasan was on CNN today, and this is from a page called Pondering Politics, actually, because I couldn't find the clip, and they used a part of this clip as well. What the right is doing is they are now attacking Harris for being anti-Semitic, because the other possible choice, Shapiro was his name, they're all saying the only reason Shapiro wasn't picked is because he's Jewish. They're anti-Semitic. I don't know how they try to quite square that, seeing her husband is Jewish. But
and I'll say this, how rabidly supportive she has been of Israel. She is this is one of the things I have against Harris at the moment, is that she will not brook any criticism of Israel at this point.
Well, Medhi Hasan was on CNN, and this is just a little bit of, this is the palate cleanser, guys, for you for tonight. How he deals with the accusations of anti-Semitism. If you are having conversations with your racist Uncle Bob in Nelson over Facebook, here's some really interesting information for you.
I mean, it's one of the most, one of the dumbest and most dangerous lies that we've heard from the Republicans in recent days. Obviously, the call went out on whatever right-wing WhatsApp group, because they're all doing it. Ari Fleischer, Newt Gingrich, they've all been, Nikki Haley, Ted Cruz, they've all been piling in, but it's anti-Semitic. I think Eric Erickson said today, there's no Jews at the top of the Democratic Party allowed, to which Chuck Schumer responded, news to me. And it's not just the Senate Majority Leader who is Jewish Democrat, by the way. All 10 Jewish senators in the United States Senate are Democrats. 24 of the 27 House members who are Jewish are Democrats. All 4 governors in America who are Jewish are Democrats. The Secretary of State, the Treasury Secretary, the Attorney General, the Homeland Security Secretary, and the Second Gentleman are all Jewish Democrats.
So there you go. That's Pondering Politics. You should check out Pondering Politics, haven't you, Dad? So I just thought it's a beautiful, there you go, conversation over. Mic drop, as the kids would say about 17 years ago.
Yeah. I was talking to someone I know from the States, just because this guy wasn't on my radar at all.
Yep.
And she said one of his policies means a lot to her, and that she had a child born with quite serious congenital and developmental issues.
Yep.
Walz brought in across the board prenatal screening for certain conditions and stuff like that. Something that obviously a lot of politicians over there would avoid, like the plague. He has an incredible reputation with Native Americans as within his state for negotiating on their behalf and being open to their issues. As you said, school lunches, universal period products in schools, all of this good stuff.
He was a football coach. He served served overseas. He ticks all these boxes for. He ticks all these boxes for rural white America, and Trump is having a meltdown, and I'm here for it because it's glorious. As Brother Monk says, Donald has JD Vance.
He deployed one of the most devastating and most smoothly delivered burns on JD Vance, I think today or yesterday, where he says, I am happy to debate JD Vance as long as he's happy to get off the couch.
That's very good. He's been very good. And I mean, like, you know, but they're good dad jokes. He seems to be quick-witted. He seems to be clever. He seems to be funny. And he seems to be, as I said, further left than you've ever seen on one of those top two tickets, left or obviously not right. And I'm hopeful that, like, we will cop to it, Chewy. When the assassination attempt happened, we're like, no, it feels like it's over. You know, I mean, not to use too much of a sporting analogy, but the goal was open. All Trump had to do was tap it in with his foot to win the game, and he couldn't do it. He fluffed it, and he's left the door wide open. And now it's going to be really interesting. And did I say this to you last night, Chewy? Or 2 nights ago? I don't know which one it was. I was like, my thought, maybe it was last night. My thought is the only thing that feels more delicious to me than seeing Donald Trump lose is him still being alive in 4 years and being so arrogant he's going to try again. That's about the only thing that feels more delicious about a loss to Donald Trump this time around, is he turns that GOP party into just the actual cultist party that it is. Maybe that will be the raising it to the ground that their political system needs to end up getting a third party in there. Maybe Trump is going to do the best thing for the democracy of America by fucking it up so badly that a third party springs up. Maybe.
Yeah. I think it's also worth pointing out that Walz is apparently the reason that they're all calling the Republicans weird.
He coined it.
Doing some absolute damage. Yeah. Look, I was having a debate with a friend of mine, you know, when we talk about US politics, it's never going to be as left as we here in New Zealand want it, because we are just generally a whole lot more left.
Sure.
Just generally than they are. And I've seen a lot of people, you know, go on about the Gaza issue. Yes, that's really important to us, and especially here in the chat and on the show. Kamala Harris is not going to change that situation. The best I think we can hope for is that she doesn't make it worse. Trump would absolutely make it worse and roll over for every tin pot dictator on the planet. So I think you got to take your lumps with that and hope for the best.
Yeah, it's that kind of thing that, like, you know, for a long time I've been saying at some stage people on the left have to stop giving their vote to the Dems and being promised will change at some stage. It has to, someone has to burn it to the ground. And Trump again might be doing that nicely for all of us. But this guy is, this ticket feels like it's further left, that the further lefties don't have to go, I got to give it all up again just to keep Trump out. They will be looking at this thing, and there might actually be some wins here. There's not going to be everything, like you're saying, Israel Gaza. There's not going to be everything, but there might be some, whereas previous iterations, there's been like no wins at all for those on the further left. They all thought Hope and Change would do it in Obama, and he didn't really do it. Obamacare, yeah, cool, great. I mean, I'm not being sarcastic, but compared to a lot of other kind of further left policies, he tended to go back to corporate Dems as the rest of them did.